So, what did you see out of you guys out there today?
It was a good day. Physical, not real long. The fact that we're still going, full pads, still have a lot of intensity in the run game. I like it. So I thought, we have a lot of guys that have been injured. They're now coming back and they want to play. So that plane list to head down in the first game, who's going to be on that plane, starting to be really decided, and the final decisions are being made. So I thought there was a lot of intensity. Some guys are fighting for jobs.
The game's so close. Do you see a little bit more sense of urgency out of your guys coming?
Yeah, I've been pleased with the sense of urgency all along. I think if anything, probably a little bit tired right now, mentally and physically fatigued, and we'll start heading into that sort of backing off of the legs a little bit, getting them fresh, while at the same time accelerating our mental approach. And so, I think our guys maybe are a little bit tired, but they're fighting through, which is a really good sign for us.
I know you said with the scrimmage the other day you want to really see some of your depth players come up and you had to watch the tape. Did you get a chance to see any of that tape and how many of those depth guys,
A lot of guys played well. Jihad Thomas really stood out to me. Aaron Ruff's coming along. I think he can help us. Shippen keeps making plays. There's a lot of, there's too many guys probably named, but there's a lot of guys that have really cemented themselves as, hey, I can contribute in some way. So
have those secondary guys along the offensive line start to emerge?
On the offensive line, I think that we know sort of who we're playing with. Adrian Sullivan's now back with the twos. He's been with the threes. He's gotten a better sense of urgency. Leon Johnson's probably the next guy to go in the game. So I think we feel like we have maybe 7 or 8 guys that are cemented, and it's the last 2 spots. We'll have to wait and see who they're going to be.
Zaire did scrimmage on Saturday. Has he been back in practice?
Yeah, he practiced today, so he's back out there.
So that was just really minor.
Yep. Yeah, those guys. Those guys get banged up. They're out for a day or so. Guys get hamstrings. They get AC joints. But as soon as we can get them back out there, we get them back out there.
Yeah, and it's close coming up to the game. Where does PJ stand right now? Is everything going well, or?
I think he's played well. He made a bad decision today, and I took him out. He's got to protect the ball in the red zone. But I think his level of play has gone up. It's just going to be the game reps, decision making in crucial times, understanding we can't do the things that cause you to lose. We can't turn the ball over. We can't have penalties. If we do that, we don't beat ourselves. Now we can focus on winning the game. So PJ's made great strides. It's going to come down to in the game, though. Can he do it in the game with the lights on, or is he going to try to make that play? If he doesn't, if he takes what the defense gives him, I think he'll have a great year.
Do you have more of a hold yet in that last starting linebacker position, or?
I think we feel pretty good about Avery Williams right now, and between Shaheed Lovett and Zaid, there's still some competition there. But it would be, if we went out there to play today, it would be Tyler, Nate, and with Avery out there.
Special teams, any update? What did you see out of your kickers and punters in the last couple of days?
Yeah, I think we went out there today. Austin went with the 1s, Tyler went with the 2s, and Coop went with the 3s. And but they're competing. It's every rep, so it's still Tyler went with the 1s yesterday. So it's just it's an everyday thing. We'll have another scrimmage tomorrow, and then probably Monday of next week will be the last day to really kind of compete. So that's kind of how it goes. And punter is still Colby, and Tyler went with the 1s with Stars that get the 2s.
So is it fair to say next week we name a starter? Or?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll name. I mean, I don't know that we're experienced enough yet that I don't know if I'll even do it in pregame warm-ups. I really don't know, but I want to see the look of the approach and how guys are handling it. Once it becomes clear, it becomes clear. It hasn't been clear yet. One guy has a great day and then comes out yesterday, misses 3 or 4 field goals, and makes you rethink things. So, our program's built on competition, and we can't have a bad day. And when you have a bad day, you have to respond. So, we set it each day. So I don't know when we'll say, hey, this is who it is. I know we'll have to do it before the game starts, though.
What about the return units on kick? Is that Khalif's shot right now? Or?
I think Khalif would probably go out there and start the game at the punt, kickoff, return positions, and then kick return. We have Shippen and Jihad return last year. They're back there as well. Hassan Dixon's back there. And then with the punt, we've been working JC and Jalen as well to make sure that we have really sure-handed, returners who are not going to put the ball on the ground. Again, trying to eliminate the things that would be this.
With his versatility, how much more weapon can Khalif be back there?
Well, he's got great change of direction. He's fearless. He's a fast kid. So we're looking at him to be a spark. We're looking at him to be the guy that changes field position for us and really flips the field. So we're hoping it can be him. We know Jalen can do it. John Christopher has great hands, and on the kickoff return team, Jihad had some good moments last year, and he's a year bigger, stronger, faster. He's just such a different kid right now physically that I feel really confident about him shipping returning kicks as well.
Guys, on the cusp of game week, what do you want to see out of these guys during practice or
Well, we just have to really hone in on what we're going to do now. As we start to starting on Friday, begin to turn our attention to the first game and the opponents. I really want to make sure that now it goes from being so much physical it begins to be mental as well. And I think our guys have done a good job. They've worked really hard. We're way ahead of where we were last year at this time. What we need to do now is accelerate ourselves mentally, while at the same time getting our legs back a little bit and getting fresh. To play such a great team in the first game, team from the SEC, the best conference in college football, we have to be at our freshest. So we'll start to back off them physically after tomorrow.
Any other injury updates or anything? Just like minor.
I think pretty much everyone's back out there. Chudnoff's still not going full out. Chudnoff banged something up last week in his shoulder, so he's not out there full speed. And then Brian Carter's still not back. So those are the two that really stick out to my mind on the defensive line.
Fair to say Carter probably won't play Vanderbilt?
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I just can't take it day by day. But right now, he wouldn't be on the trip for us right now.
Have any of the single-digit players been named yet? I know John Christopher and Kenny Harper, but anybody else? Yeah,
we've got them done. I think we'll probably make the full announcement here tonight. So I think we'll try to clean up the last couple guys and figure it out. But that's so hopefully here's some good time here today.
There's only a handful of guys left over from that New Mexico Bowl win: Jalen, Kenneth, Chudnoff. I mean, those guys kind of started to take a stand because they kind of know what it takes to get back to that.
That's a great question. I think they know. I don't know if they know what it takes to get there. I know they know what it feels like to be there. I think when they were there, they were really there on the backs of Bernard Pierce and Evan Rodriguez and Tahir Whitehead and Kevin Kroboth and all. We had a bunch of NFL players on those teams, and the kids that didn't go to the NFL were just unbelievably hard workers who were all successful. I mean, that was a great team to be around. So those guys that were the seniors had been the ones that had been here when we were bad, and they had built it to be bowl eligible 3 straight years. The freshmen that were on that team kind of came in, that's all they knew. So they've had a little adversity over the last really 2 years. So I think for them, they know what it felt like to be there, and they just have to kind of count on us and tell them, hey, this is what you need to do to get there. But no one wants to win more than Kenny Harper, Jalen Fitzpatrick, Anthony Roby, Connor Riley, Mark Tyson, Wanemi Musso, Obiona Jemi. Those seniors, they want to win, and they're willing to do anything it takes to win. And they've really given us a foundation of maturity and experience, which is what we needed. And they're bringing the young guys along and saying, hey, this is how we do it. This is the Temple way of doing things. So I feel really good about that senior group, those guys that were in New Mexico, how they've approached this year.
Mm-hmm. And now they've kind of seen both ends of the spectrum. Have you seen like a sense of urgency, saying, this is how it's got to be done?
I think
taking that leadership role.
Yeah, I think as much as anything, I think all of our guys last year didn't like the way it went, and I thought that they showed maturity as the year went on by kind of hanging in there and never giving up and getting better and better and better as the weeks went on. To go from a team that lost to a 1AA school to at least playing decent football down the stretch, winning the game. I think they showed maturity. A lot of the young kids grew up. I think what we saw this offseason is a team that didn't want to lose anymore, and so. As I told them, I said, I don't know when we'll win. You know what I mean? I know we're going to win. I don't know when. It's really up to them in terms of when we'll win. But their sense of urgency is extremely high, and their sense of focus is extremely high. And I think we've challenged them in every way. I mean, I look at even little things. We've had one kid this year have to be IV'd in preseason camp, and we practice really hard. We practice really long. And in the past, it would be probably 15 a day. So these kids have taken everything we've asked them to do, and they've done it. So I really like this football team. I hope they win a lot of games because I really like them, and I want them to win because they deserve it. They've worked really hard, but now they got to go do it, right? All the hard work in the world, what that means? Doesn't mean anything. It just means you've put yourself in a position to have a chance to hang in the games. Now you actually got to go do it. So I'm excited to see them play and see if they go do it.
Those older guys that are here now in Fediversity, how much of that can be a teaching lesson for the younger guys? And have you seen that coming out so far?
Yeah, I think the young guys that were out there last year really learned a lot from it, and they learned from the older guys. It's like anything else in life, man. You can learn one of two ways. You can learn from wisdom, or you can learn from experience. Experience, you have to make the mistakes and you stumble. Wisdom is learning from the experience of others, right? Most of us don't learn from wisdom. My mom tells me things all the time, and after I mess up, I say, she was right, So we're just trying to tell our guys, hey, this is how we do it, this is how we do it, this is how we do it. Trying to have the older guys tell the young guys. Some guys learn that way, some guys have to make the mistakes. A lot of our team made a lot of mistakes last year, and they learned from it. So the goal is not to make those mistakes again.
All right.
Thanks, guys.